Rick Without the K James presents, in my opinion, podcast.
What I wanted to ask, and I guess I wanted to lead into it with a question. So I wanted to know, what is the most romantic thing you've done for a woman, and what is the most romantic thing someone has done for you as a woman? So you can go ahead first, because I know she's been thinking about this shit for an hour now, and she's like, what romantic thing has anybody done for me?
So for me, the bad thing of it is when I think about something romantic for me, you were teasing me the other night about, well, it doesn't have to be sexual. For me, romance turns into sex. So the most romantic thing I ever had a girl for me years ago was I was sitting at home, and we lived together, and she knocks on the front door, and she's wearing this maid costume. It was around Halloween, and she bought these cute costumes. And of course, she starts role-playing, I came to clean the house, and this and that. And I just thought it was really romantic, it was sexual, it was, it was just kind of cool. And I thought, because that takes a lot to put yourself out there and do that type of stuff. And as far as, I loved it. I loved it. I think that type of stuff is so cool. And I just respect it because, like I said, it's embarrassing to do something.
What have you done?
That's what I was going to say. My thing was, years ago, me and this girl, we were going to go to up to Sonora for the weekend. Not Sonora, Yosemite. And she ended up having to work, and I ended up having to work. We were nurses at the time. And so what I did was I went to my mom and my Aunt Nez, and I got plants. I moved all my furniture out of the front room. I put plants all around. I took this green, it's like a green carpet that people will use in front of their RVs and stuff. I put that down. I pitched a freaking tent in my front room and made it like we were, because we only had one day, our day off, and I made it like we were camping in the front room. So when I blindfolded her and brought her in, and when I brought her into the front room, she looks at me and goes, "This is just silly. This is stupid." And I mean, it crushed me, man, because first of all,
women are horrible.
Do you have any clue how much fucking work that was? Yes. Dude, I spent 6 to 8 hours moving everything out and going to my aunt's, getting 8 big plants, going to my mom, getting 8 big plants, setting up a fucking tent and all that stuff in your front room. And she goes, "This is just ridiculous." And, needless to say, we didn't date after that. It pretty much, I mean, it just killed me. And I mean, when someone goes out of their
real camping and left her monkey ass there.
When someone goes out of their way to try to do something for you, whether or not you find it romantic, whether or not you're impressed, whatever it is, be respectful that they freaking tried. And I think that's why I liked it so much when that girlfriend of mine dressed up and tried to, get sexual and play. How about you?
No.
Oh, we're going with her?
Do you need some time? Have you figured it out yet?
I think I thought about it. So I was trying to think about something that was pretty spontaneous and just like something that I really appreciated at the time. And so I gotta go back to Portland. I was living in Portland. It's my freshman year of college. I had this friend with benefits. He's a really cool dude. We were super casual with each other. We were mostly friends over anything, and then when we'd want to, we'd hit each other about it. I think this one time I don't know why I had a bad day. I didn't usually have bad days, but I did, and I let it on to him that I needed to smoke. I just needed to do something to get my mind off things. I got a knock on my door, and he was wearing a big jacket and sweatpants and had a bag in his arm, and he was like, "All right, put comfy clothes on." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Go, come on." Pushed me in my room, grabbed my biggest jacket, some comfy clothes. He's like, "Okay, put them on, we're going." I was like, "Okay." Put them on real fast. We went outside, we found a couple trees. He's turning up a hammock, and he had rolled 2 blunts for us. So we laid in the hammock, all cute, cuddles, whatever, looked at the stars and smoked a couple blunts and just took my mind off of bullshit that was going on.
That actually is awesome, and I think timing's real important.
Yeah.
What have you done for somebody?
Okay, so...
She's like, a maid costume ain't shit, bitch.
The guy that I've been a little strung up on lately, probably like the last like 4 years. I went to New York to visit him for Valentine's Day.
Let's just call him Mr. New York.
Mr. New York.
Mr.
There we go.
NY.
I bought about 9 different pairs of lingerie, cute shit, and I like made him leave his apartment. Kind of gave it off after a little while when he wouldn't fucking leave his apartment. I was like, you gotta fucking leave. So he left, and I bought a dozen roses, put those petals all over his bed, some romantic shit, you know? And then when he came home, there was me and a bunch of petals on his bed. It's a good time. I feel like that was really romantic.
You were talking to me the other day about, and just want to hit her on this real quick because she asked, you were talking about the difference in romance between a girl would find coffee more romantic than roses nowadays. Can you explain yourself on that?
We talked about it on the way here. And I guess we wanted to bring it up because I feel like a younger generation feels that I've heard this several times, that a man who brings them coffee to their place of work or maybe to school or something like that is way more romantic than bringing flowers. Because most women are like, oh, it's just flowers again. And I say, I want to have this debate with women because if this is true, let us know. Because one, flowers are fucking expensive, all right? Like, I would rather spend $5 or $6 on fucking coffee than...
Flowers are not that expensive. Go to fucking Seymour, buy a bundle for $10.
No.
Or Rayleigh's. Rayleigh's has a
No, but I said, yeah, put it in a vase and like all that shit. You're looking at $30, $40 at least versus $5 or $6 for the cup of coffee. So
that's
I think
a man
that a lot of
buy
women
flowers
know.
for women because he doesn't know how much they cost.
Well, I want to hear you chime in on this because it is, because I don't see where coffee is romantic at all. I think coffee is like, it's like bringing someone lunch when they're hungry. Oh, that's a really nice gesture. Yeah. But I don't see romance in it.
I don't see it that romantic either. Like maybe if you knew that I had a rough night before, or we had stayed up together for a long night and you knew I was going to be tired at work, to just surprise me and be like randomly, hey, like, I know you need this coffee. Here you go. It's the thought that's romantic, I think. Not really the coffee. How long is that coffee going to last? How long am I going to be thinking about that coffee?
So maybe
about
that's
20 minutes. But what about flowers? If you give me flowers and I put them in a vase, I got to cut them up, I got to arrange them in that vase so you don't buy them the vase.
And if you
It makes me think about it for a long time. And they're pretty. I like looking at something that's pretty. It makes me happy. It's like, wow. Like,
me too.
You just go pick these.
So if you come home on a bad day too, I mean, you see those flowers, they remind you again, right?
What the fuck, that coffee's gonna be in your trash?
You're gonna be pissing that out in an hour, right?
So we've got one for no for coffee. But I did want to say this.
Like
you know how I tied in romantic and sex for a guy? Maybe that's the difference, is females tie in thoughtfulness and romantic. You know what I mean?
I think timing has a lot to do with like her mentioning about him taking them out and them relaxing under the sky and smoking a blunt and stuff. I think timing has a lot to do with romance too. It's like when you need it. Man, I needed that. I needed the affection. I needed the time. I needed the break, whatever it may be. And how about you? You seem like you're escaping from this. So you try to give me your romantic.
Well, because I'm
Doesn't he seem like he's trying to avoid this question?
Yes, I am, motherfucker. I am only because if I chime in the most romantic thing that I've done, the person that I'm talking to now is gonna be like, "You've never done none of that shit." So we'll skip that whole part.
Tell us your version.
We'll just say that
you tell us the truth. Don't worry about what they. Don't worry about what they fucking think. You tell us the truth. What's the most romantic thing you've done?
I've done a lot of romantic things, so I'm that's me. I'm an emotional dude. Like, if you guys haven't seen me cry yet, you will one day. You know what I mean? I'm a very emotional dude. I'm very in tune with my feelings. I know my 5 love languages, which we'll touch on that in a little bit, right? And I think
he's gay, right?
But as far as romance, and then I want to feel like you need to know the other person's love language though too to be romantic, because just because you're romantic doesn't mean that they appreciate the thoughtfulness and what you did for them. I want to say one of the most romantic things that I did was on Valentine's Day. And I'm not talking about getting married. Fuck that bitch, right? I got married on Valentine's Day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I tell everybody that I'm with now on purpose, because then I don't have to celebrate Valentine's Day. Once you tell them you were married on that day, bam, gets it out of there for you. So, but a few years back, I had taken a girl out to a nice Italian restaurant here in Modesto and Verona's. Don't know if you've ever been there. Very fucking good place. My hairstylist, her man's one of the DAs and shit, and she was like, "You got to go there. That's our favorite place." And, you know, it's a nice place. So I was like, "Cool." So I went there days before. I booked us a thing. I hired someone to come in and play piano for just us and sing a couple of songs and play our songs and shit. And I set up the table. I went and bought things for the table, put flowers there, her own vase, and did all that. And I will tell you, like, you know, it just feels good. But that's the type of person that I am. Like that's how I like showing love is through acts of service. So I like. That's why I'm a nurse. That's why I do comedy. Is I feel better about myself when I'm making somebody else happy. So.
How did she respond to it, though? Don't leave that part out. How did she respond?
I think she was like, you know, like, this was nice, but, you know, and I think, but that's, you know, with that female, that's the way it was always. It was always like, it was never good enough.
What pisses me off about that type of stuff is, does someone not understand the effort behind this shit?
Yeah.
It's the effort behind it. I mean, like, you went out of your way. You checked a few days earlier. A place like that, I know you spent a lot of money. Yeah. And to have someone come in and sing songs for you, I know you probably dropped $300-400 that night, I bet.
At least. So it was, yeah.
That's the part that should have been, like, the most...
appreciated, right? Right. I mean,
it was like the
it's got to be, thank you for trying, you know, you've got to, so how about towards you? What's the most romantic thing you've ever had? Someone marrying you on Valentine's Day would be kind of romantic. 10 minutes later, he gets it.
It's so stupid. I think that one just wanted to be married to anybody. So, because it didn't mean shit, right? So we get married, she fucks somebody else months later. So it happens. But
you just killed the whole romantic theme.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the girl that I talk to now, just I see the effort. You know what I mean? Like even today, got all that extra meat. Where on the way home she stops and here I know you're having trouble finding chicken and this and that, and here take. I want to say I got like 15 pounds of chicken, 20 patties, like a lot of meat. So it's just simple things like that. Like she takes care of me, so I appreciate her. So.
First time I ever met your partner, I told you that. I said she cares. You could tell she cared about you. And that's being your friend. I thought that was really nice. So.
Yo, it's your boy Charlie Murphy, my main man, Rick James. That's the one you think, the comedian Rick James. Get up on him.